These people, they lose control, they lose their personality, their prestige. Defending Tinubu can be very difficult. I mean, you cannot defend Tinubu. I will not look as if you are not a human being. Honestly, see how this man is displaying on a national television because he wants to defend the president of Nigeria. Nigerians, defending Tinubu can be very difficult. So guys, you need to see what this APC leader said. I mean, this APC chieftain. You need to see how he displayed during this interview session. He forgot he was before cameras. You need to see this video for yourself. But before you take a look at this video, listen to what this headline got to say. And it says, Poland seeks release of students, lecturers arrested by SSS while taking protest pictures, labeled as spies. So guys, we know that our security agents, they always do the opposite of the right thing they are supposed to be doing. Instead of going to pursue bandits, they saw these Polish students who came for study trip. Their mission to Nigeria was on a study trip. Guess what? They arrested them during the protest when people were carrying the Russian flag. These people were arrested. Now Poland is angry, telling the Nigerian government to release their students. That their students came to Nigeria for a study trip, not to come and protest. They are not part and parcel of the protest. They should release them. But I want you to take a look at the reaction of this APC leader. You need to see for yourself. Just take a look.
Okay, a couple of young people, in my view, pushed by some other people, have come to say, let us continue to protest without actually galvanizing the aim of that protest. What do they want to achieve? If you say end to bad governance, what do you mean? You want to topple government? What exactly is your aim? Nobody knows. You don't know.
Well, I think the broad strokes of it is end bad governance. But they've articulated specific things that they want done.
Like what, please?
One, for example, is to bring back the subsidy on fuel.
Okay, they told you that.
Because they said, yeah, I mean, they were here yesterday.
Oh, fantastic. So you know them. They now have a face.
They said
they very good.
Well, I mean, I don't know where you've been. You've probably been hiding in the office where you are. But I think the rest of Nigeria...
I thought they didn't have a face.
Knows their faces.
Okay, so good.
And in fact, the government has arrested some of their people, so they must know who they are.
Okay.
I mean, one of them is the bringing back the fuel subsidy.
Okay.
I mean, there's so many things that they've actually asked for.
And I think they are saying
some of their people have been arrested. They want them released.
And
some of
give 250 minimum wage or something.
Yeah, 250,000 naira minimum wage.
So,
I mean, there are several demands.
Let us just discuss. We have enough to discuss. Those two are just too good enough for us to talk about. They said government should bring back fuel subsidy. They said government should do 250,000 minimum wage. I ask you, Charles.
You're asking me.
No, because you are a Nigerian. No. I want to ask you a question, and I'd like you to listen and answer me. Why? We are both Nigerians. We are both adults of almost the same age.
Yeah, but I'm wondering why you're asking me the question.
I'm asking
You're
Nigerians.
a part of the federal government. You should be talking to the protesters. Is it
feasible for government to pay 250,000 minimum wage? Of course, the Labour Congress had been on this matter for so long. They have resolved with the government that certain amount of money is just not feasible. As a matter of fact, the private sector said categorically they cannot afford to pay. So if the economy cannot absorb a demand, how do those people intend to achieve it?
Well, let me attempt to.
Okay, there are issues.
Let me attempt
for his commitment to good governance. Now, this is a man who just came to power 1 year, 3 months. This is a man. See, Nigeria was already on his knees as at 2023 when we came. 97%.
The same political
let me
party.
make my point.
The same party, the APC.
97% of our revenue.
But it's the same party, isn't it?
Let me make my point.
But it is the same party.
97% of our revenue was used to service debts.
By your party.
I'm coming now. Whatever you say, 2015 was not the beginning of Nigeria. Your party was in power before 2015. No,
my party?
Yeah, everybody. Look, I have told you that you can't tell me the story of Nigeria. I know the story of Nigeria, and I know where everybody belongs.
Yeah, but I would urge you to be circumspect in the way that you make your allegations.
Okay, so you don't have a party, no problem.
Clearly not.
Nigeria didn't start in 2015. The party that ruled Nigeria before 2015 had its own mess. Whatever you say, however you look at it, Bola Tinubu inherited a government that was using 97% of its revenue to service debts.
But you concede that that is an APC government.
Why do you keep saying that?
But it is an APC government.
Okay, if I say it's APC government, what problem will it solve in this discussion?
No.
If I say it's not APC government, how will it solve?
Yeah,
so let's not.
But it's good to put things in context. Go on, please.
So you know the party that ruled Nigeria.
Go on, please.
So therefore, I'm saying 97% of our revenue, of Nigeria's revenue, was used to service debts. Now, fuel was subsidized, petroleum subsidy, electricity was subsidized. Naira against dollar, foreign exchange subsidized. We're meant to do 2 million barrels of crude, OPEC to OPEC. We're doing a portion of 700 barrels per barrels, 700,000.
And that was your party, the APC.
Wait, now, due to oil theft in the Niger Delta, due to oil theft,
which you couldn't manage.
So, therefore,
your party.
Therefore, 2023, we came to power with this kind of rot on the table. We couldn't move forward.
You mean you continued?
We couldn't move forward.
You continued in power.
You understand?
Your party
we couldn't move forward from this point.
But
and
you,
the point
but
remains that you will not allow us to make a very good discussion if you keep to truncate my thoughts.
But you continue.
No, you don't do that. Let me finish my thought process. Let it go well. Then when I deliver, you can ask questions. Then I'll answer.
Go on.
Therefore, so Bola Tinubu came in 2023 with all these things on the table. Nigeria doesn't even have enough revenue to meet up with its obligations. Now, the previous government did not provide for fuel subsidy for June 2023, for instance. So that Bola Tinubu says fuel subsidy is gone did not mean he wasn't in power. He couldn't have removed fuel subsidy the first day in Eagle Square. Therefore, fuel subsidy was no longer there as at the time we took over, or Bola Tinubu took over. Therefore, anybody saying that he removed fuel subsidy is just ignorant. My point is, with all this plethora of problems, there must be a way out. The way out is that we need to tighten our belts. Nigeria was going down, sinking 2,500 feet below sea level. Now, if a surgical operation is not done immediately, whether they protest or they don't protest, naturally Nigeria will fizzle out. So, for Nigeria not to fizzle out, somebody says, let me take the bull by the horn. Let us find a way to salvage this country. On one part, genuinely. There are other people, election losers, this, that feel, no, we will make this country ungovernable for this man. They are orchestrating, calling people to be protesting here and there. So they started the protests. If that protest can be curtailed, they gave them MKO Abiola Stadium. Protest here. Say whatever you want to say here. How did we get to public destruction? That public destruction part of it has removed every good thing about that protest. So, I will advise, let them put up a conference. A conference is even more methodical than street protest, because the conference will have adequate media coverage and the deaf will hear.
But let's just be clear on a number
So
of things.
therefore,
You've made your point.
Yes.
Yeah, we're fast running out of time.
The protest on the street is not good for this economy.
Okay, well, number one, you concede that the economy is in serious trouble.
Oh, yes.
Right, okay, and that people are hurting badly as a result.
Oh, yes, so we need to be encouraged to be able to put the right things on the table.
And that they have the right to express that hurt by
that.
way of protest.
I agree with that.
And that the bigger those protests are, the more the message of their anger and their disappointment towards the Tinubu government is likely to hit home. Those are facts that you've conceded to. The other point, of course, is that with all due respect to you, a lot of people listening will concede that you are pretty much an echo chamber. And an echo chamber simply means that you're clearly partisan, and people know that politically you belong to the Tinubu camp and the APC. And therefore, public trust in some of what you say is quite likely to be low.
Everything I've said can be verified. That I belong to APC does not mean I don't have a right to speak. That I belong to APC or this government does not mean I'm not seeing what is going on. Don't I have children in school?
Of course you have a right to speak.
Don't I have children in school? Don't I buy things? Don't I know that a basket of pepper is expensive or tomatoes? Don't I know when inflation is hitting a country that I live in? That's not an issue. The issue is everything I've said is a statement of fact. So I haven't even said that those people don't have a right to protest. Yeah, they obviously have a right to protest. But the Nigerian state has a right to protect the citizens of Nigeria. At the point that you protest and you disturb other people's right to movement, free movement, you're already hampering their own fundamental rights.
Let's leave the issue of protest for a minute. Okay. Do you concede that this government is responsible for tanking the economy to the point where it is right now by the two policies that you took at the same time, which have had a tremendously debilitating effect on the Nigerian economy and the people? Do you concede that?
Are you saying to me, Charles, that if they hadn't removed fuel subsidy and tried to find a balance for Naira against the dollar, we will not have inflation? Is that what you're saying? Of course not. Whether they did what they did at the time this government came in or not, we would have even been worse now. And I'll tell you why. There was no way we could have continued with the fuel subsidy. We just do not have the resources to continue.
But the fuel subsidy is back in some ways.
I don't know the ways, but I am saying that fuel subsidy was removed, right, and as a result of which, it caused inflation. I agree. Now, Nigeria does not have enough resources to subsidize most of the things we are subsidizing. The truth remains that we
to put an answer to that question.
Okay.
Although clearly I don't speak on their behalf. but what I need to, the point they're making, yes, is that if the country is going through what the government says it is going through, yeah, then there needs to be demonstrable behavioral changes on the part of the government, okay, to fit that thing that they're saying to the Nigerian people is happening here. You see what I mean? To fit the optics that they're sending out. The point is that they're saying you can't be buying new aircraft. You can't be building new apartments, new buildings at billions of dollars for the vice president.
Billions of dollars.
Billions of naira.
Okay.
For the vice president. You can't be giving off those kinds of vibes. It's very important the way that you conduct yourself. You have to lead by example. You can't be telling people that you can't afford to do this, but then you go around and for your own officials, you spend a lot of money. They're looking at the National Assembly. They're looking at the presidency. They're looking at the monies that are being expended. And the impression that's being given to them is that they don't matter, but that those other people do.
That is, you see, I find anyway, when I looked at them, I see that, quite frankly, they are young people. If you say that because you believe that government is extravagant, That's what I can take from that. And the resultant of that, or what you think should be the solution, is to be on the street and to continue to destroy public infrastructure.
No, that's a different thing.
No, I'm coming.
There are a few people who are doing...
You have caught me short twice. You have caught me short.
You asked me a question.
That's why as a result of your cutting me short, you are making me forget my point.
Go ahead.
So the issue is...
But don't make allegations that are
No, it's not about allegations. Yeah. I'm saying that if you say that government is extravagant, that is your point. That is your issue. So the solution to extravagance of government is to be on the streets and be destroying public infrastructure.
No. They're on the streets to exercise their right to protest. There are a few elements within
Charles,
those ranks.
I live in Nigeria. I'm not you. You live in London.
Oh, come on,
I live
please.
here.
You see,
so I'm saying to you.
You see, this is the problem I have with you. You always try to find some backdoor way.
I'm saying to you that I know what protests. If anybody tells you he wants to protest in Nigeria, there is no way. Tell me how many protests you have seen that haven't led or that didn't lead to public destruction. So we know it is just difficult. Let me tell you what happened.
Yeah, but is it the fault of the protesters or the inability
that is why we
of
say
the intelligence agencies and the security agencies to maintain law and order? It is the job of them to protect the protesters and to protect property.
In 2012, a group of patriotic Nigerians came out to protest in Ojota. I was in Ojota. We had a face to that protest. Buhari was in that protest. John Oyegun was in that protest. Bola Tinubu was in that protest. That is a protest that had a meaning. The people protesting are known.
Oh, so
I'm coming. I'm making a point. I am coming. You are always cutting me short.
Go on. Please.
I must make my point. That was a protest that had a face, a genuine intent. And you could hold those protesters accountable for whatever happens by their followers. Okay? That is a kind of protest government should say, okay, fine, go ahead. It is democratically constitutional for you to express your misgivings about bad governance. There's no doubt about it. Things are hard. I mean, everybody knows there's inflation in Nigeria. Even I know, you know. Therefore, we are saying, when they now said, fast forward to 2020, there was something they called NSAS. I was here. And
I was here as well.
NSAS ended in serious catastrophe. If you were in Lagos, you shed tears. I was right in Lagos at the time. Everybody was crying. They were destroying everything, and it didn't have any correlation with police brutality. How does police brutality, will make anybody to go and burn high courts, City Hall? About a lot of infrastructure just destroyed. They attempted to break Ikoyi prison. Kirikiri. What are we talking about? So we know once they say they want to protest, they are just trying to destroy public peace.
That's a very, very unfair generalization.
No, but okay, tell me one protest you have seen that not led to public destruction.
The issue is not...
We are talking statistics and logic. I am asking you, Charles, tell me one protest you know that not led to public destruction. If you tell me 2, I'll tell you 5 that led to public destruction. So therefore, in view of the fact that we know that there's going to be public destruction of infrastructure, it is better to say, come in a conference format, express yourself, say what you want, put your points across. Let us sit down and discuss, deliberate, and dialogue. After destruction, there will be dialogue. Even those who went to war and they killed themselves, look at what happened in Rwanda. Didn't they negotiate at the end of the day? Well, whether war, whether discussion,
I think you've made the point, okay?
So therefore, I am saying to these young people, if you know that you cannot be accountable for whatever happens from the action you precipitate, you better think twice.
Right. Well, because there are 2 sides to that story. You made an allegation against them. They made an allegation against the government. They say that the government infiltrates their ranks and plants people in there to cause some kind of destruction. Hold on, it's not a matter of belief.
Okay,
it's a matter hold on, you're interrupting me now. We're not in a court of law.
I am your guest. I'm the one that is supposed to be speaking. You are supposed to ask me questions.
But you asked me a question, and therefore I'm answering hearing you. So you want to ask, is it a
Okay,
rhetorical?
okay. Now I am Arise TV.
Is it,
you are Otumba Ajiboye. Let's go on.
Is it a rhetorical question which answers itself? Because if it is, I won't speak and you can speak on.
No, go ahead, please, Charles.
The point is that they have a right to be heard.
Correct.
Okay?
I agree with
That's
that.
number one.
I
Number
totally agree
two,
with
they allege that their demonstrations are broadly peaceful, that they are infiltrated by people who are planted there to cause mayhem. The point I think we need to focus on is not, you did say at the outset that you didn't want this to be combative.
No.
Yeah.
We have to
So
appeal,
you wanted to have a
think
discussion.
twice.
But when you're throwing these kinds of allegations against them, that's not going to ameliorate their tempers. Let me just make this point and then you can continue.
Okay, please go ahead.
Because you might have won the election, or as some would see it, you said you won the election.
No, you don't say all
No,
of
no,
that.
oh,
That's
oh,
not right.
no, hold on.
You
Let-
won
let-
the election.
let me just-
you went to court.
let
You
me-
lost in
let-
court.
not
What else
me,
do you want?
not
So
me.
then why do you say we claim to win
No,
the
no,
election?
no.
Why do you use
I am
such-
simply
such
being.
language?
I am being journalistic.
No, don't be journalistic.
But
Be
you,
straightforward.
but
There's
do
nothing like
you
journalistic.
agree?
Yeah.
Do you agree
Yeah.
that you may have won the election?
We won the
No,
election.
hold
We may
on,
have won.
hold
We won
on.
the election
let,
squarely.
let me make the point.
But choose the right
no,
words
can I
and
make?
language.
Can I make the point?
You will make the point if you say it properly.
You might have won the election.
We won the election.
No, let me finish the
Please,
sentence.
go ahead.
It's
Go
an
ahead.
incomplete sentence.
Okay, go ahead.
When you hear the rest of it, then you can assess what I'm saying and how I'm saying it. You might have won the election, but you now appear to be losing the race for the hearts and minds of the Nigerian people by the style of governance that the president and your party has chosen to adopt, and the way that he and his administration, of which you are a part, come across to the Nigerian people. Would you agree to that?
Charles, please be fair. Be fair for once.
What do you mean for once?
I'll
We're
tell
always fair.
You need to be fair, and I'll tell you what's going on. This is a country we all know very well. I was born here 61 years ago. I know this country like the back of my hand. Nobody can tell me any story about Nigeria. Look, anybody coming to sit before you to say that government planted people, it's not hard enough. You want to go and attack a man in his house, and you are saying that he already has people to attack him so that they will claim that you are the ones that attacked him. How logical does that sound? See.
Well, there are a lot of illogical things in this country.
Let's be very honest. And you say again that the Nigerian people are against us. I don't understand.
No, I didn't say it.
No, you
what I
insinuated.
said
summed up what
was
you
that
said.
you appear to be losing the race for the hearts and minds of the people.
What is
When
that?
we started this discussion...
You are an Englishman.
When we started this discussion... You're quite a guy, aren't you? When we started this discussion, you were very clear at the beginning that the Nigerian people have the justifiable right to be angry and hurt.
The mode of expression makes a lot of difference.
Okay, let's change the style of discussion. Let's change the... Let's put it the foot on the shoe on the other foot. How do you think the Tinubu administration, of which you are a part, can and should vector the anger and the disappointment of the Nigerian people?
I'm being very honest with you. I have children as grown as them. I have empathy. I can understand what they are going through.
Where are your children? Are they all going?
Oh, my children are here.
Are they all going to school in Nigeria?
Oh, yeah.
All of them?
All of them. The one that went abroad had come back about 5 years ago.
Okay, so some of them went abroad.
Oh, yeah.
Right, okay.
They're here.
But go on, please.
But my point is simple. Bola Tinubu is a passionate leader. Anybody who knows him will know how passionate he is about this country and how well this country should be governed. I have related with him, and I can vouch.
Can be very, very expensive. But nevertheless, they cannot, try to deceive Nigerians again. Gone are the days when they come to tell us all is well, when we know that all is not well. And you can see that is exactly what's happening now in Nigeria. Everybody has known the truth. Everybody now know that APC is a fraud in Nigeria. These people, they don't mean well for the Nigerian people. And that is it. They don't mean any well for us. And it is no longer news that this government, the APC-led government, has run Nigeria down. And still, they come out to tell us that it is not their fault. Okay, Buhari faulted Jonathan. Now, Tinubu is faulting the Buhari's government. Possibly, I don't know. I don't pray APC come into power again to start faulting the Tinubu's administration. But guess what? Nigerians are determined for that change. This government will never have peace until they attend to the demands of Nigeria. Let me know what you think about this video in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to